Where's the 500 billion naira Tinubu secured for fuel subsidy palliatives in 2023? Remember that big announcement last year? 500 billion naira was allocated to cushion the effects of the fuel subsidy removal. But just 1 year later, it seems like the whole country has moved on. Let's break it down and ask the important question. Where did all that money go? Let's flash back to July 12th, 2023. President Tinubu, barely a month into office, requested 500 billion naira from the 2022 supplementary budget, which was originally meant for critical capital projects like road infrastructure and flood control. His reason? To fund a palliative program to ease the impact of removing fuel subsidies. No detailed plan was shared, but the request was swiftly approved by both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Curious how fast they acted? Well, the National Assembly was allocated 70 billion naira to improve working conditions, while the judiciary got 30 billion naira as part of this approval. The big questions: what working conditions of the National Assembly were so urgent that 70 billion naira had to be set aside for it? Was this just a way to win over key players for political support? Nigerians were promised relief through a series of ambitious programs. Tinubu's government outlined a plan: 8,000 naira for 12 million poor and vulnerable Nigerians, 75 billion naira for the manufacturing sector, with 75 enterprises set to receive 1 billion naira each in loans at a 9% interest rate, 50 billion naira for 1 million small nano businesses across all 774 local government areas, 200,000 metric tons of grains to households across all states and the FCT, 100 billion naira to acquire 3,000 CNG-fueled buses for public transport, 50 billion naira to cultivate 150,000 hectares of rice and maize, and another 50 billion naira for 100,000 hectares of wheat and cassava. Reality check. Fast forward to today, and none of these promises seem to have materialized on the scale we were told. The 8,000 naira cash transfer for the poor? Quietly shelved. The 75 billion naira for manufacturing? No one knows where it went or which companies benefited. The small business grants? No data, no evidence of impact. The promised grain distribution? We only heard of 42,000 metric tons of grain in March 2024, and only in the Northwest. But who really got those grains? What about the CNG-fueled buses? Nowhere to be seen. And the agricultural investments? Still no concrete details. Nigerians, understandably frustrated, have pushed back against these empty promises. The palliative plan feels rushed and lacks transparency, raising more questions than answers. Civil society groups and the NLC have called for investments in infrastructure rather than handouts. But so far, the government has remained vague about how the money is being spent. So, where's the 500 billion naira? In a nation where politicians are rarely held accountable, it's easy for such crucial questions to get swept under the rug. But we need answers. If these programs haven't been implemented, where did the money go? And if they have, why is there no transparency about who benefited? What do you think? Has the government done enough to address the fallout from the subsidy removal? Do you trust the promises made by Tinubu's administration? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us for more updates as we continue to ask the hard questions and hold those in power accountable.